now pray. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and most merciful. Lord, we tell you thank you for we give you another day for continuing with the assignment for which you send me at the face of your earth. Lord, now you say in the only as the block, and I call me, I will answer you. Lord, one by your 99 names of description, the third one by your 99 as salam, peace. Lord, you know what you need in our country. We pray, Lord, that you show me the way for where we get. We pray that you bless me.
for some reason for bring together these two very important people. Because now every community where you go, when the chief get issue, they call community meeting. One of the first person we say they call at the community now that the imam or the pastor. Those chiefs? Good. And when the imam and pastor say one go the community, the first person they make a call to and the paramount chief. So for make this group call that together is very important. As I say, I don't want to tell you why we're there. Somebody will go through that responsibility. So without wasting your time, I want to present to you the man who we all agree in this organization for make it serve as the center for coordinate with activities. We do them on purpose. A professional human rights activist, we're strong in the promotion of the rule of law and governance. As we know, religious leaders, though not to now, before this time, the Bible and Quran no but now they be on Bible and Quran. Right? And we want to forgive people who get the responsibility in the Sabi. And we not regret them at all. Because we get this man for provide the center hub. A very humble man, I never see it die. Few people who are seen as civil society, they always one at the front for let you see them. Or this is not the man, you always want at the back. Any side we want in at the back. If you don't call up, you know they come before. And when you call that come before, we open much for talk. You know they talk nonsense. We begin talking about what make it stop. So now we begin our responsibility today. We don't do plenty things from all from this group. And why it happened are because in at the brain, we bring the suggestions, we support them, and we move on. The Honorable Paramount Chiefs and the religious leaders with the civil society, members of the press, we are journey put our hands together as invited to the podium. Mr. Abdul Fatoma.
Thank you, Reverend Jesse Fona. You know, when a doctor and a reverend try to introduce you, they intimidate you. They make now, I feel tight for let I will talk. If I don't talk for let people they not tell me say not stop again. So thank you so much, sir. Always humble. And we think around. We are the first people then we will engage after election. During the election, before election, we engage key stakeholders in this country 5 months towards election. We don't go on with 1 week, 2 weeks to election. We engage the market woman, we engage the disabled community, we engage political party and EMBs and security sector. For let them carry dialogue, the post also. Let the political party then explain to the security sector and the EMBs what are the challenges and how the security sector and the EMBs will help for addressing challenges. So we as a country will be able to prevent conflict 5 months ahead. Then we carry the disabled and let them explain what are their own challenges, how the ECSA and the other EMBs going to help them. We count the market women them, for let them express the concern of women them. We go on the provinces, we engage the youth and the security sector. We engage traditional leaders like the provinces and the security sector. For let them go able to ask how best we as a country will go able to forget peaceful election. We do that one day. A lot of people be thinking during the election we get high tension of violence. We'll be able to forget a calm on election day with plenty of winners in this country be surprised. Because not to that, plenty of people be the thing say for not be the outcome. And they work the way we do with several other organizations themselves when we get interest, like the Interreligious Council, Group Council of Imam, you know, tribal elders, let's say I should say other organizations that we engage in. So we all as country will be put with collective efforts. And I said, you know, the civic education and you know, where Kalilu to Tangi, they had themselves do tremendous work engaging in entire base and others. So collectively, we all as a patriotic citizens of this country will put women together, then we'll get a peaceful election. Now the election not done. we don't see tension. We don't ignore that tension. And nobody knows say we don't get tension in this country. We get tension. Look at the way we for engage. A good for engage the political party then, yes. A good for engage the EMDs then, yes. But me grow up in this country, I get one clear understanding. With religious leaders and with traditional leaders, with the tribal heads or paramount chiefs, then we get so much power in this country that where bush fed for them within chiefdom or town, the first point of call before even a member for Bona court, and then traditional leaders or the religious leaders, and then are the first people the way they intervene. So with that two chiefdom they can decide for go resolve that in the amicably than then go to court. Plenty of una witness or una enjoy the thing. Una will come on a primary chief home, una will come on a religious home. We see that thing and they happen. So for the past 15 or 16 or 17 years, we don't see say the religious leaders in this country and with tribal or paramount chiefs them, the authority don't reduce our community. We might not want for hearing that. I know they disrespectful. It dey bother me when we say, hey, you know, it's a lot wrong, go to the chief there. All man now don't take milk, don't take bottle. For sure, say, instead get that trek. First, that trek may not be there. The trek where we get, now we go to the imam, now we go to the pastor, now we go to the chief. And that chief, they go bring we come together. And that community they move on. So we call this thing purposely. You will not go promote cohesion in any part of the country if you don't involve these two people there. If you don't involve chief, if you don't involve religious leader, no way. That cohesion did not work. Because, like I said earlier on, every household in this country, they are under the leadership of religious leaders and tribal leaders or paramount chiefs. We get the 16 tribes heads and so meaning every single tribe in this country get representative inside this room. Every Muslim and Christian in this country get representative inside this room. So tell me why we go on for solve salon problem. The first people they will for call. But let them tell we waiting at the challenges there. But let them tell we waiting at the issues the way they make actually they know they see themselves as a powerful authority. I mean people there with authority and with community there again. And how we go come together as a nation collectively for really restore that respect, that confidence, that trust. We cannot build trust in any government institution if we religious bodies, we religious leaders, the community not get trust in them. We cannot build trust in any government institution if we paramount chiefs there or we tribal chiefs there, we don't get trust and confidence in them. Now from them we dey draw resource. Then we root. So with that, before we say we engage any other sector after the election, this group, we say the first people they win our point of call, and we religious leaders and we tribal leaders. We been waste more time for let we start, so I'm not going to go deeper. We therefore get representatives that we will talk. But then, one of our other partner organization, part of this, the Eminent Women Peace Mediator, you know, powerful women, they don't retire in the office, and they say they don't want to retire for the country. So they gather themselves and come together and engage in peace and mediation issues. One of them, they work for the CCSL and the Secretary General. So 2012, we began another political standoff in this country. In the Secretary General will lead that process. So we go want to let a can share with we in your insight as part of this organization, we organize this thing. So when the paramount chiefs representatives and therefore can do the presentation, then we're able to know exactly how we as a country will move forward. Deliberately, you are talking about politics here. I don't blame anybody for support politics for that. It's very deliberate. Because then we all learn from the hypocritical with life. When election comes, we all they go vote. They go vote. But in your line of your work as religious leaders or tribal leaders, as an independent and professional person, you always get to be mindful of your words to the public. You always get to be mindful of you invent them in the interest of the country. So we can talk how we will move forward. With that, I will call Madam Ebony James. Let me give that insight. Madam.
We esteem the religious leaders and the honorable paramount chiefs. I greet you all. I'm glad you know we come together. Sierra Leone is too small. We know beaucoup for there in the first we serve. We get good qualities. We are a resilient nation. We're able to bounce back. I remember the war and what we went through. And I see how we don't bounce back, the progress that we don't make. However, there are challenges, there are issues we need to address. And we are starting with the religious leaders because I have never met a Sierra Leonean who will proudly tell me, say, God do not do. And I don't miss Sierra Leonean will tell me, say, we chief, not to better cost you. We run to you in times of crisis. We run to you when we are happy, we give thanksgiving. When we get married, we will born picking. So we must come together. There are challenges which prevent us from coming together. And one of the challenges that are money. As just if you ask Mr. Fatoma, he will tell you, say, funding we get for this activity where we all did it will be or pay for the all. And that's our one challenge where we need for overcome. We as Sierra Leoneans them, let me learn for put we resources them together and say something they happen in our country. If we call the religious leaders them and the paramount chiefs, let them not come because they will get something. Let we come and sit down and organize research. And for do that, we must be united. And the Council of Churches, one of the oldest council in West Africa and the second oldest in Africa, now about 24 churches and 8 affiliates day. We always have been monitoring the elections. Waiting make we successful is we are aware of waiting they happen in our society. So for them we come together, first of all, we must know waiting they happen. Now the abortion bill that went passed, what do we know about the abortion bill? Now the giving bill that went passed, what is it about? So as religious leaders, as paramount chief, we forget a good knowledge of what the issue be. Unless you have a good knowledge of what the issue is, you will not be able to contribute. And I tell you, no political party gets population like a we. At least for every Sunday, 2 million, 2 million Christians then will gather now one place. every Friday, at least 3 million Muslims will gather all over the country. Without them not give them money for go, without them not give them ashobi for wear, then they go there. So now we get the people, that is we religious leaders and we chiefs. So to fast forward in 2012, Council of Churches, like we say, we knew the issues, because now with different churches there, we get lawyer, we get judge, we get magistrate, we get doctor, we get. So we call them and say, if we want to handle this issue, the impasse we been there between ex-president and the current president, how we go do and what are the issues? Then in time, then give it step of the issues. What thing will be the challenges? And for us, prayer is such a powerful tool. So we prayed, and then we went to meet the president, the then president. So it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Finally, His Excellency Julius Manabio and His Excellency Ernest Kuroma met and they shook hands. At least they meet. So now again, it go fine for them. We study the issues. Let me look and we must be truthful, because if you can't answer, so you're already biased. You already get thing in your mind. You will not see the light. So let me debate. Let me talk. Let me listen for understand, and not for listen for react. Mr. Fatoma is a religious council, like you say, and eminent women. We've been all over the country. Marketplace, we were there too. Ghetto boys, we were there too. So I'm glad to say this crowd is here. And once at the end of this meeting, Mr. Fatoma, we identify things that we can do, workable things that we can do. We give yourself time, and then we see what we can achieve. Also, at the big week, you let this not be one-off meeting. Are you with me, Mr. Fatoma? Let this not be one-off meeting. If we form committees, then we will say you they handle this. Let us do that, and let me also document what we do. Because me go and let me grab him. No say I was part of such a dignified committee. So let me plan and let me make sure say when we are called, me now last night say, and call me, but I say I must come, because business alone is a concern for me. Let us be honest with ourselves and look at Sierra Leone and look at picking them and the future of the country. I thank you now all for coming, and I hope that this is just the first of many dialogues them. We go happy. May God bless you all. Thank you.
I hope you clap for two speakers. Thank you very much. One thing, or the things that we stand out very clear, that if you're not a voter in a salon or you're not a politician, you either belong to a tribe or you belong to a church or a mosque. And the thing where we talk about respect, if we get respect for traditional leaders, we get respect for religious leaders, I just say their voice will help people move this country forward, make the engine not stop halfway. The motor car look is slow down. We need unity, as we hear from the speakers then, and if we are united, we get knowledge of waiting really at the issues, the way surround the conflict. We need to take action, and the action they will help people contribute towards the process itself. So we need mediation. That make the peace and conflict and mediation working group together we are today. So we say that a dialogue. We mean say the one that we call don't talk. Una will come, una self get chance for talk. But not all man will get representatives of the various groups there. After which we will get questions and answer sessions. But we expect the talk them for go, first of all, waiting the organization they do for promote cohesion and community dialogue. Waiting at the challenges. How do we build trust with people in this? So Monday, in not trust the state institutions then. Okay, for help them to build trust in them. We will give example now. So now, because we don't have to be political, but we get a role for play. When we up on Friday when we talk, we need to talk so that we get confidence and trust in the state institutions. Sunday, we need to do the same. In our various institutions, tribal heads, in communities, the tribal heads get a role for play to make sure they get trust in their state institutions. Then waiting at the way forward. We need to intervene now. We need to do something now to move forward. Like the last speaker said, he said, if we need, let not just be Nayanamo we talk, then we left. We need to see after year, get similar meetings there, we need to go into communities there and see how we will go. Just suggestion. So how can we move Sierra Leone forward? So for let we start this one, when election day, as they announce the date, so we begin to electoral education. Say you want you to vote, you sign for go vote. As the time they reach there, and now we for promote peace, now we for live amongst yourselves. So for start the discussion, I will call on Mr. Tutangi from Nasi, and you can do 5 minutes, 5 minutes talk on them things they want to mention. So I'll put hands together for Mr. Tutangi.
Thank you, Reverend Raymond. I just say Reverend endorsement. Family on the morning, we Islamic, Christian, and community leaders in our for hotel on plenty thank you. We will have plenty for can support this talk. We President maybe take over 2018. If you see need for more people get this institution when the Council for Civic Education, because we believe say we will do anything, government will do anything. They left out the citizens there. We do not understand what they do, they bring a lot of misunderstanding. So me and go and for make a go. For them to talk to people them from the classroom, to picking them, to listen to the people them so that we understand the rights them and the responsibility them and the roles they will support for the play in society. For Mokosia we say, hey, now me right, now me right. But for every corresponding right, for every right, there's a corresponding responsibility. The next thing they will remember no more. By the way, Mr. Fatoma and this group, conflict prevention group, where they said this meeting. I've been there offline last week, together with ONS, PPLC, the Peace Commission, and other groups there. We go around for talk to people there, for find out from communities there how they sit down with each other after the election. We go right now after we talk to you, so the group be na Falaba and Mongo, they still check for sense what people they feel and what they happen in their communities. And the idea is we go write a report, we will advise government and what's the things that we need for do for make them bring back society together after the election. What we find out is some of the things that they happen, not just things that can happen between people, the individuals them or family members them, then they can escalate them, bring camp and politics so politics can come. And when the politics don't serve, then they can ask for deal with. So now that's one can't answer one of the religious leaders and one of the traditional leaders there. Because we not get the patience, we not get the know-how for able for go into some of the issues there for bring a solution to us. Because the government, maybe they don't get the patience or they don't get the know-how. Because anything we do now, the other person will say, oh, because this is our government, because this is our opposition. That mindset already did. We'll find out say most of the things they really not between party there in the beginning, between individuals there. So we need now for look at the issues that they going forward. The one thing we'll also find out from them people then is they want to see the government they do something visibly where it will assure they say they make effort for resolve the seeming impasse within our society now. Where one party say they can parliament because we don't say the party in government and party has of power. Now then they form the government. There has to be an opposition in every way. So someone can say, ministers, they're not important. No, they're important. So we don't want to make government get that mindset they say they want that they're not important. How will we make them understand they want that they're important? And even the one that way say they know they come. How when I go for talk to them, when they understand, say they get a sense of when they get a sense of responsibility, not only to the people that will vote for them, but for their country itself. Because if how it be as well can be, one of them party and I can be government at any point, the other one can be opposition. If you the opposition, you say no, they play your role, putting at the chance say people would give the chance to be government. All of them say also for the plain and people in mind. But what do you say this meeting here important for Makuna as religious leaders them and the traditional leaders them, there is already what we say a debt of trust in all of the institutions. In fact, people that deliberately try for undermine the credibility of all of the institutions in it. You can understand if they undermine the credibility of one individual. So that individual they can pull out or sometimes it will resign or it will retire. So that person will go if anybody saying it. But if you undermine the credibility of a whole institution, where them people that already inside the institution, they are all sierraleoneans them. Not to others, I'm not going to be for enough for can be a police chief or for be with judiciary leaders there. Now we company with amongst you selling people they come out. So how I think say we're going to pay attention to this very important thing. How we bring back trust in the institution. So then one time about cheap day some man will not like they go talk bad about them. But one day it was most bad. But if I say all of the institution of chieftaincy will undermine the credibility of the institution of chieftaincy, who say who go there? So these are things that we need to pay attention to. And one could talk to with brothers then and with sisters then we deep on politics. Yes, if all my heart can one. But it will reach some time where you forget what you have done. You remember the consequences of this will matter for the whole generation. This is not about you in the next 20, 30 years, most of we will not phase out. But what about beginning with the raise? If we put them in the society, if we raise them in the society, we trust not them for one another, we trust not them for institutions then, how they're able for surmounting difficulties in the way can come and listen. So now all the years we can remember, by that time is how we can get to now, we find out we see how we will give sense by next year and take action. I will encourage una some of you something that will say that they pay me for the work we do. But una they know they pay una nothing for the work we do for God and another one they do their work here so. And because when they do their work here out of the free will of my own heart, out of public service and mindedness, we find out una will feel bold for talk to the powers that be. Whether they live in government, whether they live in opposition, we rely on them for call them all the years and tell them the things that they need for no. If we are not do them, but people will not be able to do them. For me, so I will take the report, I will write them in secret, I will tell my boss all in it for no, but I will not give them in secret. But when I get in secret, it will go by them or it will go by them. And me say not go get a right now for that man at public say, I saw I will not advise my boss. But una now, una not get no bound. Una can easily go if una really understand the issues that they. That's why it's important. For instance, I go na Ubedebo just last week. One person, Timam say, even the ECSL people then, even the district certified result, they say that no district, they not be certified result, and the man most you don't, they will say, but fortunately, then people also they will not give me them district certified result with all the district election people there, where they sign panel. So now pull and now show. I said, but this one I ain't the man they say they take it. Look, all man don't sign panel this one. What's what they talk about now? So all man say no go, and then say so then misunderstanding, then fake news and like it bring problem. So man still believe say ECS don't even get district certified results then. So man can say, hey, police station by police station result. Yes, that is possible, sometimes it's possible. But now that's how they generate. They don't generate that data before. You can even for inform me about that one day. So has there been a precedent to this? A precedent not there, if another one may happen, chance they say we can able for amend with this lawyer so for Moko go add and the moment and our pauper say any election for Moko go certify that election in the we need to get them police station by police station results there. Then it not going to be this term because the term don't pass now. What we go do now, if we see that is so important, more try more put inside the law so that next time any commissioner within that place, he knows he get the responsibility for generating that data day for make people make sure. So because you can say 11,800 police stations, 14 candidates. All we put now how many pages are there? It will pass 11,000 pages there. Whose book you don't say don't pass 11,000 pages? Which people put the leader. Now all of them say as we plan about the bad working commodity. Since not in this personality that we argue about. But we rely on as leaders them, religious and traditional leaders them. Now we now must still get our credibility intact. And we now use them on our credibility for more for solve some of them problems so more move the country forward. We will do that so we will continue the discussion as we carry on. Until now, thank you. God bless your country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tutange. He's a great man. He's in the right office. For Allah, when I dare talk past this, you confuse me all for who say Thank you so very much. One of the very important things that we talk about are values as religious leaders and traditional leaders. Nobody got a privy, so we're not afraid for saying the truth to powers. We're not the biggest problem today. People they say we get state capture of traditional leaders and inter-religious council. As when these people always say inter-religious council is not state captured. They say they put my face in the picture, then they write the name there. And whoever take it time is nobody. I don't talk to nobody, I don't tell you to that paper. I said yesterday. That's what the press does. People don't cause inter-religious council. We're not going to listen to them. They're this, they're that, and they don't pay them. One inter-religious council not going to talk to no political leader for no election. Though. One day, we don't talk to no political leader. Religious leaders, they do not go by their own name, by their own character, for their own good name. They will not go talk to politicians, or not to inter-religious council. The religious council not going to talk to anybody in this country. If I don't know what they don't cost me, they don't say all kind of things about me. But what's in the say? Chiefs, religious leaders, if we not speak the truth in this country, nobody else will go on. That's why we have brought you here today. For God, judge ourselves. Maybe we could not bring other person. They are only here, just there for listening. Not for the there. We are for women, the leaders, religious leaders, and spiritual leaders. Let us talk truth first to ourselves. And then we advise ourselves how we go before. Few people that come in wise, the meeting will not start. We are one for know your name and which group you represent. You, if you just can't not going to introduce yourself, go on this row first. You know? Alright, quickly.
Apostle was representing the EFSL.
EFSL, the Evangelical Fellowship of Sierraleone.
Reverend Angela Jackson, representing CCSL in Clergy.
Any other?
Hold on this side. Alright, go by here.
Chief Adjournment, Coach Driver, Western Area.
Chief Mohammed B. Kalola Serapoli Travel.
Okay, it's okay.
All right, thank you very much. You know, me now I'm also a historian. I study history. Because history they help me for know what happened yesterday. They give me more information for preparing myself for tomorrow. And one of the things we are seeing happen in this country, we quick for forget people that we don't live their life for we, they work for we. And when that happen, they want to go up here, we they have to, they go for no day. The Now we talk about war. They became away born 20 years ago. They never know what happened at the war. Because nobody talk about it. That make where everybody say, when I go to eat, the young man is still joking at it. We already talk about the war. Now I use this opportunity for recognize two people in the religious field. This man we just can talk to women here. Where Fatoma introduced, we can talk about what he just talked about. It set a record in this country where some of you don't know what's ever going to be the history of this country. From we talk about the Council of Churches, now the oldest in West Africa and the second oldest in Africa. First time in the history of this country, and the first woman will be Secretary General and Council of Churches in Sierra Leone for 8 consecutive interrupted years. And this is a history we will not forget. It will always in our mind. So we're not sorry, I'm going to just say today, Mrs. Edmund James Decker. We are walking up for her. Not only elite, but elite very well. We all be the first woman for can lead them pastor there in this country. Where we start? Well, thank God, it started well and it ended well. So what happened after I left? They said, now youth, woman youth. Not only woman, youth. Now they put back instead. So that pastor will be careful of wherever Canada office they again. Alright. The next person I want to follow tonight is Sheikh Abubakar Kota. It's a household name. Sabian, very then, we're going to interact with her. If we talk about interreligious council in this country, this is chief number 1. When they laid their life for their peace in this country. Why they do this? In order interreligious council executive video, and already see on television, already area. If they invite us, we don't agree. Because no one cover the leader they waited now. But do you not forget that history day. So any time we day, the day of movie, all will recognize it. Check about me here to you, and whatever we can do for that foundation. So the next group they can talk to me this morning after great Kalilu and Interreligious Council. For can tell me what they do, and what they don't do, and what they plan for do. The first way the Secretariat asked for do that day. Another young man, plenty man of his Sabia, but now will tell you very versatile. They're all over the place. They represent the religious council. Very objective, what to they come out. Very objective, non-political in all the activities. When they speak nothing but the truth. And I'm lekker for that, and I always want to speak so I know you for talk. I'm the Secretary General for Supreme Islamic Council, and I'm a journalist by profession, studied journalism in Malaysia. I don't work at a diplomatic corps for many years. Well-experienced one. Sheikh Ibrahim Barry. The floor is yours. 5 minutes. We'll pass on the stop.
Thank you very much. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sallam ajma'in. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. The task is very difficult. We'll talk about the Interreligious Council inside 5 minutes in front of the founders and I had Sheikh Conte. They watch me like make around. Yeah. You know, easy, but I will try for reference. We say something you do. They don't really check and watch. First of all, the Interreligious Council, not a typical civil society organization, with a difference. I make one not to see we go out. People they say we don't talk. We don't know. We work, not to megaphone work. So I will outline the work in just 8 points. I've been given 150 points, but I don't get down to 8 points. Number 1, if you see Sierra Leone, the whole world don't give you that certificate. They say we
a peaceful, religious, tolerant country because of the inter-religious council. This council will bring Muslims and Christians. Within the Muslim community, we get the Ahmadis, we get the Shiite. Then I believe in the Christian world, and get a lot of other sects. The inter-religious council, then they bring you all together. So if they call us, we are peaceful, but because of the inter-religious council. And this is the best job we don't do for maintain the inter-religious harmony and coexistence between we. We know other countries are not also Muslim and Christian, they sit down inside one room. Forget I was saying they go come together and discuss one program. Number two, we advocate and we mobilize in our own way, as I say. Number three, we defend human rights, rule of law, and good governance. We campaign against things the way, number one, religion, no lack, and you know good for the community. Not to any way they tell you for campaign with the campaign. When they give you agenda for campaign, we sit down, both the Muslims and the Christians, we sit down, we watch. We see, you know, they offend God and they're good for the community. Clear example, World Sabina abortion bill, not also 2015. Will not be great because it's not been fine for weeks. And even this past government, the ministry back we carried one bill where we debate for so many years, 2-3 years, still will not be, not because we're stubborn, but because it's not fine for you. No, please not allow with the Almighty God. For example, child abuse, we campaign against them because it's not fine. Gender-based violence, just for people because in adult you kick and slap her, we not agree. Early child married, small girl, you want land, then force and say that this man for marrying you, we not agree. Other harmful traditional practices where we don't say it's not good, we don't agree for that. Violence, we are against violence, we preach against violence. We preach in favor of peaceful coexistence, we try for it together, whether in political parties, whether we try for it together, whether in tribes, religions, we try for it together. And we talk the truth. Working with big people and we tell them the truth. Then this election will pass, so by the way, we play a very important role before the election, during the election, and even now. We will continue for do the work. But we know they come out now for 12 and all of two don't do. We observe the registration, the exhibition of the voter list, we observe the voting day itself. We don't observe no more. Now voting, now the tallying of the numbers, tabulation of numbers, not in the hall. But all voting command that they allow all right now we can discuss how we will move forward. That was made to succeed. Again, we will conduct various trainings, workshops, and seminars in Freetown and in the provinces. Again, we will participate in national, regional, and international conferences. Kenya, Ghana, all over the world, we go. Just of this alone, in flag, go up. Again, they engage continuously in peace building and reconciliation. You know the talks on warfare. Even that August 10, when it begin, we send some people that are the east. We're not going to tell you another we send. We talk to some young man, let them go back. That coffee, when they impose them, we talk to people and say, we respect the coffee. But nobody know that. Because when we want to challenge the coffee, they say they come out. What's in the apple, tell them say no. During Ebola, then we close the mosque in the church, not so people are not being glad. We tell them say no, we're not abide. During Corona, that restriction for go praying at church or mosque, people are not being glad. They want violate to tell them say no, you're not fine. So we do a lot of work for maintaining peace in this country. And finally, the post-election tension, where we brought a mention just now, we're in a reality. We don't get serious engagement with senior stakeholders in this country. We don't meet 2-3 big stakeholders them, and today if we don't meet another stakeholder, and we'll get to meet them back to make sure say that tension issue will not happen after the election, we will resolve it. In brief, and for respect, Reverend, your instruction, I will stop there. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you. We find out the eminence group make the right choice. Because always it was service will say Interreligious Council do. Now that to look out for. And we currently in a state where we need the intervention. We need them, especially in the mediation role. That's the way forward. You don't tell me say dialogue to go on, mediation to go on, effort for the big one that we hold on to the conflict, see reason for we come together, let we unite, let we get unity. They on. And we said we join hands with them, so let we pray that the success we talk about, they will achieve them. And very soon we will go back to normalcy. We want to continue, and if you look from the religious side, the next group we associate will go on for a reform and from the traditional leaders. Because as I mentioned earlier, if you not go to church or mosque, they won't go to chief. And Mr. said in a committee, a community, we quick, let me name by them. I can see them come out. We ask, this will come out to chief. Because I can ask, I say, hey, my owner said, all the time I never resolve one to myself. He said, no, he said, what chief say? Then at the final, even in case chief man say, we say, the whole care and go. If chief say, I can't go police, we say, they go police with them. So that respect day, what we need for build them up. So we will call on the representative now of the paramount and the traditional leaders then. Then they can tell what they do. And the challenges in the face and the way forward. So now we put hands together for the chairman.
Thank you. I know you're even a clap. Now, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me say big thanks to Mr. Fatoma. We are able to say if we get a meeting like this, make it involve the 16 tribal heads in the western area. Because na Sierraleone they are so 16 districts, 16 tribal heads. Not also? Na Sierraleone they are so. That's the importance of the tribal heads in the western area, because every region is represented by a tribe. And we will be the talk, me Chief S.O. Becky, the Colonel Tribal Head, and me the chairman for the Council of Tribal Heads. Thank you, Una call we for will be part of this workshop. It is timely because the supposed election engagement with religious leaders and traditional heads. It is timely because we all know who did they on the ground. Things are there. Some say we know they go parliament, we know they go council. We not believe this institution. And this institution, some of us don't say, we say we not believe, we belong to the institutions. Many years. We born in the, we need the institutions like the judiciary, parliamentary safety, religious council, etc. So if you say you don't believe the institutions then they, and here we there, we not in another planet, we they say Leon, kindly that we responsibility, like we all other speakers before me, they talk, they will join us for make we talk to them people will say they don't believe some of these institutions. And the institutions, not to corner. They are being legalized through our constitution. When Mr. Fatoma they talk, the role of the traditional leaders, the travelers or paramount chiefs, we know within the paramount chief they stand for, without a paramount chief, without a travel head. The values been there. The values been there. But now you ask in the street of Freetown or you go in schools, you say, what's in the responsibility of the travel head or a paramount chief of country? Some they don't know. And that thing and they way they bring calm, the responsibility and respect of traditional leaders in Sierra Leone. Because they cut off the civic education. Well, they go to school, I can see paramount chief, or they be in any court messenger. They don't identify themselves, set away. That dignity is the CIA. But when they can, even the courts, where in the provinces, the paramount chief them to oversee. They take down their hand, they send a judiciary for manager. Hey, old man is on a boss. Would this be great? If I meet you, sit on the night, I say, come on, sit on there. It happens. But what is it? Because they don't meet them and they continue to build on it. But when they can, they say civic education, no day, this no day, so they know without a leader, without a paramount, without a traditional leader. Coming to this point, we all know the reasons. We all know the problems. But we also don't have. And the only solution to that problem is like this workshop we do with traditional leaders, with religious leaders, journalists. Now the only thing that, how we will move forward with that, the last speaker just said that they on engagements with stakeholders. And they on engagement with stakeholders. So I support you, and this is what we have to do. Like Mami James don't talk now. All these problems, we know it, and we know we'll just end up at workshop. We have to go out of workshop. That be a formidable group where they will say, Partner to you, the country level, which I will not come out. Then Fatoma identify himself. He said, I belong to this organization. And bringing so number of people for people to talk to you. Nobody will close he or her door before us. Nobody. Nobody. Now here we go. We don't get nowhere to go. And we are being covered by law. And that law they now will foresee and maintain. We at Travelers, we don't be in several engagements for peace. We don't meet UN women, we don't meet eminent women, all bordering on peace. And in there, I tell the eminent women, we man them, we face war, we language back some time. But let the women champion this peace this time. When they grab, then go. Some stakeholders, when they don't want to see that man, they will see that woman make it pre-twist to her. And this is what we have to do. Now we're there, we're not going to know where to go. Beaucoup of them things in there, where if they happen, where the trouble come, they suffer with the chief them. Because if you come on your neighborhood, you can. For rescue, I have to take you in. He said, this big. I know if you know, come on here. You see? So we want peace. And we want that collaboration for support the government of the day. Otherwise, we're not going to develop. You leave your house in the morning, they're chaotic. Man, you wear the coat, you begin at the coat, you can't walk. No. that house, stand. So when you see what I go want for make Chief Matukibayo, he said to General John back up for 2 minutes with permission. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my chairman. I stand on the existing protocols. In the first place, I will want to make all the tribal heads and the 16 tribal heads we come to this meeting for make them stand. Let's stand up. I will want to give them a hand of applause. Okay, when I sit down. This clearly show for say we take this invitation very, very serious when we see the idea. But before ever I will say anything, when my good friend, the Secretary General, Reverend Jesse, then they talk this way, say, some people they don't call some boku ten on paper, then they take cut and paste for say that's what we talk. We, the members of the Council of Tribal Affairs, we totally condemn that. And we not will ever be a party to it. And we will stand by you in whatever they go for. As we all know, when they talk about national cohesion, I think for this, so the national cohesion is in the western area. Because all the 16 tribes of Sierra Leone, we're all there together. And we are all interwoven and intertwined together. And we symbol that the map of Sierra Leone, we 16, we all hold, we hand together. Now we symbol of Naina we own symbol, we idepa we letter here. And our motto is oneness in action. You touch one, you touch all. You touch one tribal head. Believe me, we all will make sure to say we will stand tall. That is our motto. Definitely, the national cohesion is there at this western area if only they see how we, the 16 tribal heads, we did together. And I'm the one for us, this body, Mr. Patoma, that we, the 16 tribal heads, want for say, now we take this meeting outside this room, make it go out. And we got one that for make sure for say, we say, we are the opinion leaders of this western area, that when we talk, our people will listen. When we walk, they will follow us. If you allow it, for now we call a big meeting of all of the tribal people that are this western area, where we now go address, where this body go address this piece, believe in me, if the stadium been done there, then we be for saying we go full up. But this time around, let me hold this kind of meeting now at Tuga Stadium. And when I tell we no more say, when I call when I people there outside, and when I will see them in thousands. Because we talk and I said, the message don't go. Like when we go yonder, when we go talk, when that said, go able to at least take part. Because peace, now a very hard thing for at least get. Not a one day talk. peace, we therefore get them by dialogue. For that we go engage each other. And any tribal headway in Denaya, we first and foremost duty now for make peace. We are peacemakers. And so therefore, this kind of pity won't occur. We believe for say, they embrace them, and after here, we will call meeting that every tribal head will engage in sub-chiefdom. We get over 500 sub-chiefdom in this western area, in every nook and corner. And we will take this message back to them. In the first place, to me, there's a national question in Sierra Leone. How the intermarriages done interwoven with. Meanwhile, at Tinapena, so me na mende, but I know one day married me tribe. Woman way I married na Tibini. So if I also Tibini, they call me uncle. Then me and Pukine again were born. 3 of them they married to Liba. So as a society way, this thing can. To me, because people they talk about tribalism, but we get tribalism in Sierra Leone? No. Now only when we want to settle, we petty jealousies there. And we petty misunderstanding there, then we bring in tribalism for make we go take that as a yardstick, forget to one another. But because of the intermarriages, and because we are interwoven in such a way that at least me believe to say so, we for stand for peace. And this people when I don't call, we were now the first people the way when I don't call. Mr. Fatoma, I go one for make when I go set up a committee of moral guarantors. Moral guarantors in the sense that whenever we see anything that go wrong, make we don't let sit down until it go out of hand. Make we condemn them or make we embrace them. But if we, as moral guarantors, then when they see something that go wrong and we know they talk them until it go out of hand before ever we come inside. The Englishman say prevention is better than cure. And I believe for say, Reverend Jesse, all the tribal heads are waiting there. From today, we are a member of your interreligious council. Because why I say so, there is no tribal head wearing a pagan. None. As we are all seated here, we are all Christians and Muslims. Not also tribal heads? Mr. Sefer Atinap, me, now the president of the main association of the UFC Cathedral, the King Memorial, the great King Memorial of Regent Road. So me are the president of the men. So because me are a devout Christian, so I believe for say, by extension, me are a member of your council. And as from today, we don't join you council, sir. Thank you very much, good job. The longest. We're happy for your own voice. Whenever he speaks, he speaks my heart. I'm glad for your mom, the children. I'm saying that chief for chief. I'm not me, I'm out for another first of many more cheaper. With a leader one day. I'm both this pastor. I plan for they don't want to crowd me after us, you know, I'm not a pastor, no, I'm be chief. All right. Thank you so very much, the chiefs then. I think say all the two we done here really very wonderful. Not so? At least no organization out there we know they do something towards peace. We want to move the meeting forward. We get question and answer. But we not going to emphasize much on the question and answers. Yeah? Maybe I'm going to entertain maximum 4 questions, if at all they are there. But which I will follow with anyone. And the way forward. What can we do? What concrete decisions we will take From this meeting, we'll get the paramount chiefs and the religious leaders for promoting national social cohesion and community dialogue in this country. Even if one will go beyond the community level, we get a national stalemate right now in the country. It's a religious council, they do their utmost best. Sheikh not retail on all which will they do because we still don't tell on it. Then we still continue for saying in the religious council they do nothing. But the day we come out and speak, like clap for me. We already work for the people in prison. We work for bringing peace and salute and let God in get the glory. We need that. God in power will try to compromise what we look forward to. I want to entertain maximum 4 questions of any kind you want to ask, either from what we don't talk, or maybe you want to ask. Yeah, and I see any should have been very unique, and I make appreciate that from CCS. That was a unique role they played, and if I for no area. Otherwise, we left now, you know, Bakita will call me and say, Reverend, I heard that you gave an opportunity to CCS to speak out. STA will ask the same question. The Catholic Church, when I'm boss, the Archbishop will ask me the same question. So let me tell
something between ECSL and political party, you know, these things. Then I tell her, say, the fact that say ECSL a member of this conflict prevention group, if we say we do mediation a conflict of interest, then another independent body come between them, we go work or observers. But no matter how neutral role we want for play, the fact that say ECSL and we your member, we will be biased because of all the inside one. So you look at and say you make a very, very valid point, and that is true. Now that truth day, then we for the speak to we said, if we had or swallow. So with this, we apologize for that thing on the agenda, and we respect that say ECSL will respect this observation, and we're happy that ECSL honor the invitation. You know, CCSL, Council of Churches, you know, honor the invitation, and we apologize that we create such a conflict on the agenda, and it's good that we get the religious authorities to guide me through for avoid such a conflict. And you know, we think say speaker after speaker are able to say, but we're on the way forward. How do we want to relate to be with your respect? Because one thing that I said earlier, we do this thing not for them we cannot this way. Now how we go address the challenges that we would face? Waiting make that erosion not take place now in that space. The religious space and the traditional leaders and paramount chief space. We might not want them, but as it looks now, it's not good for we as a country. We need also we religious leaders that they appear, let them get the utmost respect, whether they respect any politician at this land, including the president. But the president himself is not going to say he will disrespect any religious leader. So religious leaders across the world are one of the most respectable people there. Traditional leaders and national leaders, they are the most respectable people. They don't say we don't go hold them accountable. But at every given time, we must show that sign of respect to them. So why that erosion didn't take place? You thinking of the way forward, now be honest and sincere how we will address that.
So apologies accepted. Please, all the records have that edited. If you recorded it, you don't get a reason for apologize. Our brother, our friend, I wanted at the same game, yeah? And I'm sure Uncle Joshua gets clear understanding, yeah? All right, thank you. Anybody get any question you want to ask? Any question you want to ask? From 1 or 2 minutes? Huh? No, give me a comment too. You want to make comments? Okay, Chef Barry. And then, are you the rapporteur? Rapporteurs, please take note for the concrete step forward, signaling with the minor observation or a suggestion. Rapporteurs, please.
Thank you very much.
I think this debate is going on now, seriously. What do we expect from traditional leaders and religious leaders? But we need to do a thorough research to know why the erosion of the authority of traditional leaders and the respect we religious leaders that get in the society. The advent of this Western democracy don't pay too much attention on political parties and other formal entities at the expense of traditional religious authorities. We are in the foundation of governance and the system even before colonialism. These religious traditional leaders we see these were the governors that will be the governed way, you see, according to the customs and tradition. So I think one of the issues that we need for people is for empowering, because lack of resources don't affect them so much. They get the title as chiefs, as traditional leaders, but how can they sustain themselves? Before they may get their own way of sustaining themselves. They may get plantations, they get farms, where they may generate income. But now all that has been taken away by the new structural adjustment. We don't get the local council, the councillors, the members of parliament and other government bodies. So they are left now without any resources, and that has weakened their authority so much. To the extent now they are advocating for get more resources from the central government, which will compromise their neutrality. Come to religious leaders, we have been pushed to perform ritualistic practices, that is marriage, polado, or burying. Or when we get a function, they give you 5 minutes, give opening prayer, closing prayer, that's it. They don't allocate time for religious people to come and participate in a particular debate. The only thing we ignite the role of religious leaders, now when that people come, where it touch on society, we were not consulted. It was a parliamentary business, But when we come up to say no, at the time the hierarchy focus on religious people and give us the chance to participate. So I think resources is number one. Number two, we need to empower and get a mental shift. For say you as a church leader, not only a church no way for go, or you imam na mosque no way for go. Outside the mosque and the church, you don't get much role. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Shibari. Those are two select points you don't mention. Any other comment or question or a suggestion for the way forward? Yes, Ms. Dekam. Suggestion for the way forward. Rapporteurs, please take note.
We say knowledge is power. And there's saying, we all sabi lizard, not so. Although, if for done from the high Uroko tree, where it can do, nobody no clap for him. He look so, now he shake here. He say, me, at the pains myself. This size one for done and not die. My take with religious leaders is, let we get interest not only in fasting and praying, but what is happening in society. I'll give you an example. This climate change. What is wrong with us religious leaders? Let me go now. You say government, give you one side way down the road. We say go. We plant Tuesday. Look at the city. If one head of church commotes the old shovel, he say they clean street, none of in church member go pass, they not stop them motuka, then it will make impact. So me they appeal to we for say, let us go into the communities. They will come on with churches and we must. Let we do activities where then they will not even ask waiting religious leaders than we do. Because they see we take interest in the everyday running like the everyday activities in the lives of them people. So let us have radio programs. Let one chief, let one religious leader go. He said today we don't come. They can't talk, tell you now waiting for do. So things like radio programs, that we can say, let we form communities. The imam, the pastor, and the chief. If we three they go on radio, except that 1 time per month, they go talk to the people then. Then they see where they take part. Go to the Ministry of values, water resources. Let me get the minister go on radio. Tell me, sir, wait till people know they get water. Then the people then say, me I know they get water, but me pastor, me imam, me local chief, he interested. He don't drag the minister go. We want answers. You know, when I went to Rwanda long years ago, one of the citizens that they tell me, they say, you know what Kigami do? He take divide into wards this community. Nobody know the camp that this community with the chief no. And I saw the information they go. So let we chiefs them, let them make we know say that they are community. The community where they the only time I they hear about chief. Now we play a big in sermons. So let we take interest in with people them. Nothing wrong for the chief to go around. If he say, this is my community, don't see you. This is my community, they get them, we want picking them. Then post them. I saw them collapse in the smoke or doing cushion, hush. That's it. What have we done about it as community leaders? As paramount chief, now the community, the people the way they sell. What is wrong if with Chief Becky in community where he did? He got the informant who said that person now didn't smoke or drink, push. He go there, he tell the people and say, you either stop for selling kush na yaso to kill them or you move out of the community. Do something. Me go glad a gentleman died in our community in my community that Poto. He come smoke. Handsome, tall, 6 foot man. You see him, he go let boy picking. I see the camera they make so evaporate for done in that kid. That is it. I almost went to the chief and said, Chief, but this Potias community, they what see you do. So without the finances, there are things that we can do. So at the big Unaduya, come out, religious leaders, come out. Let me take part in community contemporary issues. God go bless you.
Thank you very much. Yes, my brother. The mic of the place to the young man.
Yes, I'm Hassan Bishikova, journalist from Contimes. From the big board there, is to see how the religious leaders and so our traditional leaders, how they can promote peace and cohesion post-elections. In her statement earlier, she tell me say that the 2012 between former presidents and this current president, it's worked. And now we all know say when two leaders of strength come together, Samura Kamara. But if you talk to the APC people, sorry for all political parties, they must listen to her. If Marabi call the SLPP side, they must listen to her. What are the method where will be used 2012? And what we now want for add by this kind of method because it's taking long. Now with the CCA, even Abacha Street, the one for the rest of business, they will count this way. But then they take and say that political activity making the pull a name, or some man part of the pastor for anywhere happen, they take and say that politics make a go on to her. So don't we think prolonging or taking too long will get people problem more aggraved day by day. Within 2012 method wey the council dey use, it's not applicable now for this year. They bring it to population together, make them able for check and talk to their constituencies there. Waiting that it, waiting now for add.
Mike, please tell me.
One of the things that we do, we make sure say all of the political leaders, in fact, the council with the one with heads of churches say, if you belong to any party, don't be active. That is, you don't go where this party don't go and leader you go to mandate talk. So you don't go see any head of church where you go normal party day. That is one. Then we also patience. It is a long process, but we are trustworthy. Now that's make if we go meet this one, so waiting we go discuss. We know they put on the radio. We know the other say, hey, because the community they want know waiting on they do. But sometimes you get for work underground. It is trust, it is patience, and it is commitment to the process. Because sometimes the process is long. When I go, they meet it, sometimes they 10 o'clock and then they will call on for car meeting. So if we are going to engage, let us use people who are trustworthy, people with a background. You make sure say na good background the person, and also person with them in all sin and so or we be no campaign, and let me be committed. Go to the meetings and listen to understand. Above all, then we pray.
All right, Shekonte, I'll come to you. Sorry, I need to come back to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Moderator. Me, I just want for the name. And waiting my brother journalist over here that he say. You know, the expectation of people, they will not keep them in suspense for too long. And the longer it takes, the more irrabi it will be. So I think so for when do we meet, who for meet as a group? The earlier the better. And as Mama Dokan may say, that 2018, the group have been political party representatives have been there, interreligious council, journalists, civil society, groups, representatives. We go all over. We are divided. So we go to the south, north, east, and so forth. So you don't pass 1 month now after this election. So interreligious council will be saying just now, we meet some stakeholders. But I found myself also, but we chief, it don't even go to the extent, say, let me pull this meeting now. Make we put a member away. So when let me try for this method for apply borrowed from the method who will be applied 2018. Then we move. Then we meet some people that are all for meets now.
All right, thank you, Check. You see, this meeting today mean election conflict prevention. I want to comment for interreligious council. I make you wait and say for talk and selection very speak. Don't mean ahead of the secretariat. But I don't push me into here and you know, the situation in 2023 and that of 2018 will be the same. 2012 will not be the same. Plenty people don't continue at time. Plenty people. They don't cast doubt on the election result, but transparency question, accountability problem, they don't go wild to everybody in the world. To the point that one group feel aggrieved and they want pain on waiting people don't see. Another group they think say, no, nothing is wrong. Everything going well. And many Sierra Leoneans believe in that. See, everything fine. That's not go wrong. And we get those where they think say no. No hide behind the constitution. This is a constitution that matter. We don't ever get this president before? No. So why do you want to do this now? So it's a difficult scenario altogether. For a year before break that barrier from the part of the Interreligious Council, we want to come from a well-informed background. That when we speak out, when they speak from within, we don't gather. We have spoken to ECSL, all the commissioners. We know the questions we'll ask them. From what you hear from the European Union, from you, from other people, we self-observe the election. We don't talk. We don't know time. We don't meet with the security apparatus, the CDS, the IGP, Office of National Security. We don't talk to them. We know the issue we talk about. The second group will really want for me at the APC. But the first thing when they say, when they talk to one are hypocrites. I can imagine where you will call me hypocrite. Where you will call Archbishop Tabacha's hypocrite. Where you will look at Elijah Mutara as a hypocrite. Sheikh Barry. We are religious leaders, we're not convinced. All of us will left them. They're not a reborn salon. But now we get this country that we they call the moral guarantor of the peace and surrender. And that is why we say, no, we don't forget. Today we formit all political parties will register at this election. 2:30. That moment, they don't cancel the meeting. And the reason, very flimsy. But we say we know they give up. So we don't engage PPRC back before I come here. We don't engage PPRC. We are rescheduling another meeting. For correct those they say that the issue will correct her. And we are meeting again with them. Good thing. On Saturday, I get a letter from the APC. They said the reason why we meet tonight will bereave. Our ambassador died. Editorial, we got for Beran. So we'll bereave with it by ABC and T. But Tuesday, no, the 2nd of August, we will write and tell you who's still going to meet tonight. We don't get the issue. So they're going to write me today and give me the date they meet today. And we don't have the reason why we want for me today. Hold on to all of these meetings. They will catch the head. Because what you see as the rule, what is the security rule, we'll not take side up. So today when they say whether I correct or wrong, we'll know whether I correct or wrong, we'll not talk. Because we say that Sagadin and have all day. What's having the issues? So if they talk just for cover up, we know. If you use constitution just for protect yourself, we know. All done when they go back to the drawing table. This is what we got from this, from this, from this, from this. If any group they want for bringing come together for clarification, could you? So then we talk about the man only. Now it's not before you talk about it, if you get mind. When you not talk about what you know, you will tell you this why you not talk about it. Until we speak the truth, the matter will solve. So my journalist friend, 5 questions. The scenario in 2018 is different from this scenario. 2012, sorry, 2018, right? I know what about what's in the scenario, but the issues were very clear, and now two different. But what you will assure una or the request of una patient. We don't want to miss the target. I know you don't delay people anxious. Take 10 kill and you go see God. Yeah? No problem, no day. One of the two will tell, we guided at the position. No war, no day will not happen at the world. We don't at the battlefield. No war. What's that they done? So we reach there. We will just be patient with it. We are working. We will not go to the point. We will identify what we call eminent persons, not even religious leaders. These eminent persons are people who believe, say, they get some form of control or affiliation with the leaders. President Bill, Samora Kamara, the other big guy in the country. They are working with them behind the scene. We only show what they want in there. And they work with them, they do when they bring kind of public. Then they do all the work behind the dirty work. Those can report to we. So no go move on. Not just patience small. We are big. Yeah? We don't care about the government, cause the regional council not it all, they don't die, they don't lose their value. I will sometimes when somebody say they don't go on brown envelope. And they try to talk the person, Reverend, no go tell you the truth, not all he will tell me. I accept time. I don't want to give you praise anymore. But God knows what we are doing. No politician will bribe me. No politician. No. I don't get no reason. We will work for the people of this country. We don't know beginner. I don't know how for 15 years. I don't work with 3 presidents who don't pass in this country. Shake on knows. So when they try, we open. Yeah? Can you go and say something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to share a little experience. I've never said grab like a reverend because I'm a teacher. Me and Mr. Fatoma, we've been forcing for Sudan and the election steering committee where they be formed. We have been co-chairs of the Civic Education and Conflict Prevention Subcommittee. We hold 10 meetings inside all that period. And at each time, we all we made a report on your activities, them, ECSL report, Ministry of Finance report, all made a report. Then with international partners, them, they made a comment on what we say, or then say if they get updates, they will give them update the day as to how the planning be for the election. At one point, even we raised an issue with ECSL. For many will come explain to me how they go for do this they call result management system. You know, so then bring the technicians in, they set up for me, they show me all what thing then they do. Unfortunately, with international partners, they're a little disingenuous about some of the things the way they do, and sometimes we don't raise with them. Because if we all in the report, including ECSA, we never get the mandate of the state for do the election. They said they can report how they get for do. They knew now when a CSO, when ECSL been give himself, how to call it, accreditation. Then now they not can report to this steering committee with all my including international partners. Instead, then go debrief the international partners unbeknown to we all we been in this committee. So then they been bring an element of doubt, even in your mind, as to why they do that. At one point in time, said when they talk about violence, they just can't talk in a room, say they deploy violence. And Mr. Pastor, I have been grab it, tell and say, wait to inside 2018, when I've been talk about violence, when I've been go out there and put out a press release. But when I can't at this small meeting, when I say we denounce violence, why would I not go put press release? God touched their heart the next day, they put the press release and Mr. Pastor draw their attention. Say, if I've not been telling yesterday, we're not for them. So all of these things, it bring, just like I say, the scenario of 2023 now they talk about. Because people rush and say, like a news say, okay, the president, if we don't get 50-something%, not get that 56%. How they get there, nobody knew because they never report to me. The ECSS said, no, that man didn't get 56%. How they get there, they say, oh, they're not selling. And we, international partners, they not be play with fair. They talk about projecting result tallying, you know, but ECSS and they sell themselves out on that. They don't say when I don't begin to Pambai election. Why would I not do the general election? We ask them that question. So when each side we do this tallying, we're not going for project also on the wall. But they're not being the talk the way people they expect. Because Solomon, or even anywhere in the world, if you allow a vacuum in communication, fake news go can't take that vacuum there. When the two news go can't go, don't mean to sit down. For pull and come out now, it go take. And another one where I say, I see the father them. You know, it's mind-boggling. They say then 2 miles away, they ahead of this year. They say now an apparition, they say the same church then they go. We not see when I do nothing. Or when I do not say, we don't know. And what's in that we just not come on offline. Reverend and all the panati there. What in the thing with the Ambo people them? They say they see nothing. We are sometimes with the drum, but you're not going to work for me, and I know they see the work. When I say we all say we do something, but no, the people are very concerned because they don't see. And what did happen when the dangerous side of it? Now they don't now this room will don't count and say they don't all soldier man there because they want for survive the state. So you see the danger of all of this? Because we see the people that say nothing not they happen for bringing people they are together. Then they not begin up to say some people that they plan violence. It remain afraid. There is an uneasy calm all over this country. And we say now we don't job down for bring people them together, we will stand up and do them quickly. Otherwise, miscreants them, bad people them go see the situation and they go enter there. When they enter there, they not go fine. I mean advise so.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Khalil, 100%. I think it's dangerous when you don't walk, people don't listen to you and they report publicly. I agree. It is dangerous. So don't need to go to the drawing table again and advise yourself correctly for what we're doing. Again, we are sympathize with the Archbishop. Sometimes when he thinks a walk is as easy as drinking water. Because he's the Archbishop and President Bill and Dr. Samora Kamara are in charge, when they think that they eat at the same plate. That is not what it is. Me, I don't get that experience. When President Kuruma will be president of this country, me not be head of church. That period. Me not be pastor. But I tell you, for last year, the first thing they do, they go to church. Because the first thing they go see them, when they go to church, they go see them. If you look, President Bill and Samora Kamara, from what is the national president does that, ask Father Davis, who stayed in the local church. And when you want to go see them, honestly, President Bill go and see Archbishop. Dr. Samora Kamara go and see Archbishop. Whatever the way they around them. Someday when they benefit from this system, what the confusion is they benefit. It doesn't mean we get the problem solved. You don't block, you get one. So they will prevent you from letting us see them. So I'm sorry for Archbishop. People they ambassador, all in church them day, all that this they do. Why don't they bring and come together? I go to European Union, they meet you twice. Now we again. But each time they tell us, hey, are you getting parishioner here? Why not they talk to them? So don't blame the man. So do you want to understand this? It is not as easy as we think. Yeah? Say because now you're not the bishop, so you get control over it. No. And apart from that, there is a layer, there is a policy and procedure in the church. Now you're not the head of church, but not to get the direct pastoral responsibility for them. The person who get pastoral responsibility for them, and Father Davis. Go to Father Davis, and they go through him. I don't go through him to say when they talk. The constraint is, I don't have access to these guys, really see them. Right now, you ask yourself, someone come and you tell us. But what problem not be there? It's like all man they touch. You know, waterman, you will rule animal. Or waterman are the most difficult thing to handle. When waterman don't say, I don't make up my mind for God's problem. Let God increase, then go solve that, then we help them. So that's the problem. So here, no help for sorry for our bishop. That man, they don't welfare. He get health problem. He still don't add more to his problems. Right now, they live. Why go they live? This problem being at the country. Although we left down, we'll come back to our own business. Yeah? We'll work on closing meeting very shortly. Anybody get any others?
Yes, sir. Small experience. Like I said, before the election, 5 months to the election, we get intensive engagements in this country. We first meet with all political parties' leadership. We give them 2 options. That we willing to go meet them at the office. If they get any other option, let them tell me. So some they say the distance of the office, they will prefer meet between a real location. So we meet with them, we ask them 2 questions. What's on the challenges? And waiting on the things say that some of the things that we want to foresee during the election. This was 5 months ahead of the election. We don't tap in, we engage former President Kuruma. We call her. We say, no, write letter. We write letter. In honor of that letter, we communicate with we until we say, "Una want for Kama Kenny or Nafito." We tell them, say, we willing for go any side. They say, okay, well, since Una said that, they can't fit on. And when I come, I will make Una know, and Una will meet with me. When I say we, representatives of this group, 2 women from Eminent Women, 2 women from Chadi, 2 people then from Interreligious Council. Because we don't neglect this here, so they attend that meeting. We engaged former President Kuma. We did it close to 1 hour, some minutes. When, honest and sincere conversation, the day up. And we follow up on some of the concerns that we raise with we. We tell and say we will address that. One of the policy where we be the engaged politicians or leaders in this country, we never meet you without camera, without any device for record you. We they tell you say if you want for record we or video we, you get 100% right. But when we come to you, so we not they record you, we not they snap you. We just want for them we talk the issues. Then we go back and see how we go address the issues that they immediately. Nobody know anything of that na radio or social media, but the outcomes of them will be reflectable. We do that with political parties during by-elections. We talk to them and tell them what they want for them we intervene within them and the security sector. We ensure say if they arrest the members, we engage the security sector or release the members on conditions that if you go disrupt a whole community, if you repeat it again, they will hold you there and charge you to court. But because of we want peace, we don't go talk of peace. Then the other party where we go talk to, they remember that they're under bondage or that they're under detention. So we look at the reasonable things that we will make each party go enter another room for peace. Please with and satisfied. We do that in Kaila, we do that in Cambia, we do that in Wellington, we do that in Guadalajara, we do that in Bendabu. You know, we be active one point to another. When it comes on this issue, we're not active as we be active before the election. The reason being that we get a lot of information into religious, traditional leaders, and other key actors in Australia come forward for intervene. And it will be confusing for them. You see one leader, they meet with 3, 4 different kind of Australians. In which to a point he asks himself, would I have worked with among the one there? So if there is a bottleneck, we can now categorically tell that saying, we, like Chief Young be say, or the chairman for the tribal heads say, we can get 2 of the men there, 2 from interreligious, 2 from eminent women, and 2 from Chadi. We try to navigate way how we go meet with APC as a party, we meet with SFPP as a party, then we meet with the government of Sierra Leone as a government. These 3 institutions. But then we get a way how we will restore, normalcy in the political landscape. Mind you, the problem we get is there at the political level. For people that they sell the market. But that political thing, it don't become a religion in this country. Where so many of the compatriots draw resources from them. And if anything were there within the law, it happened within the law. No more tamper no get right for tamper with her. Because we build law for protect we all. But anything will happen outside of the law, we all for speak out the truth, but let the law take its course and let that truth may be established. If today, because my uncle vex, my auntie vex, we say we dey compromise that law, tomorrow my grandpa go vex, they will compromise that same law. So then we start asking ourselves, why will they establish the law? If we as a country will not develop law, we don't say this law is not there in favor of we. Now we responsibility back for saying that we will do this law, let we revise this law and make it now how it will suit we all, so we all will laugh, even the slap me begin. Let we be truthful as how we handle national issues. If you learn the law, let it be law. If the law, you go against the law, let the law take its course. Because big people there, or influential people there, all at the court or the police, where other person don't cause atrocity, then that influence, they kill that thing, we all take and say that injustice. But because of your family member, don't face the justice. So you are okay because of your influence. But what if that you be there at the other end, how you for don't feel? So when the law be the law, then we respect the law. But if any citizen or any institution go against the law, now we responsibility as a citizen for call out that institution or the head and condemn her. Say you don't go against the laws of this country. You for respect the laws of this country. With that, we will forget better. But because you party or you party there, then they have power today, or they're not in a power. They don't do something against the law, but you know what? Let the law go after them. Or they don't do something within the law, but you know, please, you say, therefore, reverse back outside of that law. I don't think saying that a good president will be set for ourselves if you really want Salome and the betterness of Sierra Leone. So with that, I think I will end. Now, with the committee, we not go set committee. We don't set up plenty committee there. But now with the authority of the tribal heads, the religious already deal with me. When we get critical issues at this country now for engaging, we will automatically give them a phone call. Or let them join me. So by then when we approach any political leader or any state authority, we get traditional leaders, we get religious leaders then, and civil society, and women then, to actually address that issue. So we address it. Forming a committee need resources. Now we don't make hypocrites. Any movement we do, we need for spend money. And the international community, they get waiting to spend money back. Things that they used to say important, but they know important for them. So they don't give money for that. But you want for doing it requires money. But when the boss was here, they say, well, the civil society, they're not there again. Which international community will they give money for right press release? I go and know. They are good for right press release. So I'm going to make money.
Thank you very much. I hope so we understand the issue of tomorrow. And I'll go over that. We talk very select issues. It takes a mind of wisdom for understanding. And I believe so we all are wise people and we don't understand them very clearly. We would draw that line. You know, make a policy statement, but we really want for let me see them as a way forward. And maybe something we will take for we notes. In fact, you don't talk about the conflict of interest with the ECS being part of the issue. So now you talk about interreligious council, eminent women, and now the traditional leaders going forward to address critical issues in the country. In addition to the work we will do as election conflict prevention, I want to move that as a motion and ask for our support and our desire. You think we want to go in that direction? Yes. Huh? Yes. Anybody against that? No. Good. For the records. Okay. The brother wants to say something, and Sister Mary wants to say something. You're okay. For 2 months, you don't speak down my mind. Thank you very much. Lawyer, brother, in the next 5 minutes, we'll close this meeting. Yeah? Lawyer, waiting.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, all. Just one for Tula Galubo Collision. I want to see at least stick now continue. I also believe say value now will make lost power religious leaders and the traditional leaders, which I mean life now like a game. You either get observer, you get player. Which now put over the line, over the years. They don't make the religious leaders them, the traditional leaders them will be observers. And if you get life, if you play, then they play, they make you observer. At the end of the day, observer don't get any value. Now player, then get value. And therefore, look simple, and if you look at the constituency, at least the power chief and the get people there. Every Friday, people go mosque. Every Sunday, people go to church. And these are people that will make up the country. They will make laws. And all police and religion they are there around. Then they go and make up for themselves. And then they make the law they pass out. So we don't put you at the place of observing. We just observe them, they play the game, they just observe. And as a result, people in our constituents, people will watch me. They lost respect for me because we are just there observing the players and we know the player. And because we are not players, and we lost respect. And we all say Sierraleoneans, some man that religious leader are not just stupid, not a fool. It was cool, educated. But choose from a religious leader. But if you don't make us say the man, or the man, the power, the man, you don't forget no stake, you don't forget no voice for politics. If you just don't want to observe, they automatically cohesion of the cohesion of the so as I say, I don't put some justice going forward. It will be just for now going forward in the future. That if you watch closely, anything will look expansion, will a particular minister for handling for a commission. If going forward, if like a Sierraleone will get budget line, they get Ministry of Religious Affairs or Commission of Religious Affairs. It will make a line for we, it will add value for we, and but social welfare for nothing. And as it's not that popular, so for longer value you don't play, that's not going to be that's not going to go.
All right, you're very correct. You know, we get a lot of arguments in both directions. Like we said, happened, civil society went to President Bill, and they asked for position in government. And a lot of people frown at them, but they will also see in the cabinet list at least 2 prominent civil society organization leaders are there, purposeful and one. And some of which still resolve issues, right? But that's not the point. I agree with what you talk about, but me not be a different view. I love what they were religious leaders go for me political person. Because if we want to be the player, the referees, it's difficult for us to play the game. Right? But there's something we have to think about. We have not agreed amongst ourselves who saw one for go or not get to your mind. Alright? But let me ask Nicole, facilitator, for coming some few statements. Then Fatima will close with a closing statement and how you feel about this meeting. And then when Fatima finish, Reverend Mary, you will give me a vote of thanks, and that will bring the meeting to a close. We will come for prayer. Pastor Raymond.
Okay, thank you very much, Reverend. Now we don't go through the whole day's exercise, and we get some key things that we will come up. Yes, we all agree and want to say yes, midday for the traditional leaders and the religious leaders to come together. And also need day for the Unanosidom and with time they move fast. Impatience, they come in, it's like we say, we say, we have to pay they staff them, we know they get the information. But as the pressure they come, because it's no, they are the information incorrect, no, they pay them first. Other you not correct, wait, it's the company, you say go work. You see, so that we give for take on board now. Time they run out, as somebody mentioned, it don't pass a month. And by the time it go, and so the situation gets worse. I look one newspaper recently, remember we. See, Parliament session they on now. Now like the PR system. After party days or sessions, if you don't go by law, you know, they will pull you. So they are waiting at the first list, they don't tell them to do. Then waiting the law say, they say for going at the second list and take leave. But now, if we sit down, we not try to put her in place, it will still get additional. Now what are additional ones? Because that they are living at the first list, we see, hey. Now we be sign say we go, they are already second list. Then go sign, say themselves not go if they call them. Problem. So we find to make we think now and act fast. Delay will be dangerous as somebody else don't talk. So me, I want as a way forward, because we never go because we are part of the conflict. As Mr. Thomas said, we know about the conflict of interest we did it. But now it's a purely governance issue. So do ya? And me not see any law we say the second group say they know they go another 30 days or 30 session lapse. If we take on a political party, can't put in a position no, and by election no will get for day. So let we act now. So they look forward to that group. We look forward to that group. Getting the religious leaders, getting the tribalists, somebody among the tribalists, he said he mentioned the parliament chiefs. Because we talk to Saul. Now we get them together with the conflict prevention group and make we get this dialogue going. But as we also consider this dialogue at national level, let me not forget the communities the way we did. Because not to the leadership, the same stone. Not to the leadership, the cause. Not to the leadership, take part in demonstration. And for the community, we promote. And also, I appreciate Madam James or Mrs. James in suggestion we make. We stay in communities. Me, I did an Angola community. Me, I did Angola community. And the post that we know this country, any salary they call Angola talk. And salary fet, drugs, no they don't do. So, we get to step up as leaders, as chiefs. So let me make sure they don't put you. They will see them. Every day they go there, we pass that to the city and they sleep on themselves. We go around with the same and the same thing. In fact, now, it will be a public business now. When they see public smoking, then they will all around. The smoker and the pass. So please, we need action. And we need for also take into cognizance the fact, say, term the between. The earlier we do it, the better. On that note, for not to put a vote of thanks, but I just want to appreciate you all for when I come and make us continue to support this group, the conflict prevention group, so that we will do mediation and make sure that we move forward. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll get concluding statement from the main leader.
Thank you so much, Reverend and women. You do a wonderful job, and also want to thank the traditional leaders for showing a 100% support. You know, shows indeed when you make mention of cohesion and community dialogue, it is at the heart and it is at the interest as the government communities. So for the participation and showing 100% support, I think we will not take for granted. We appreciate this and their contributions and add so much value, you know, to this discussion, because this conversation in a day next week, Gode Mwamba and Reverend Gode Kambe and Gode Potloko and as well Tokolili. So it means that not only Freetown, we normally we do even before the election. We'll be there Kenema, we'll be there, you know, Bombali, we'll be there other places as well across the country. So we always make sure say issues pertaining to Sierra Leone in Ghana, all corners, so with people that are able to participate and understand their issues. Coming to religious leaders, me as a person and the group, we get high respect for them. We respect for them because if we didn't know God and get the understanding of God, not true, not teaching. And with that, we want for the communities that actually respect the presence of any religious leaders and recognize that at all levels. Because, you know, Africa, we are traditionalists. When we want to do everything, even a bad thing and good thing, not call the presence of God. And the people that we will remember are religious leaders. You know, state opening, their religious leader pray. Closing parliament, their religious leader pray. So, with the recommendations that we come from this floor, these are things that we will engage state institutions for actually recognize. Then Sheikh Barry say, we will actually advocate for their religious leaders and take strategic, you know, positions across the country, at community level, at national level, with their religious influence. You know, if we consider them as moral guarantor, let them presence they that them places before any havoc come. Like even if we for the actually consider say every board that this country parastatal board, we get religious leaders and traditional leaders representing the secure seat. You know, secure seat. So then we actually see now if the corruption can, we say the nation not corrupt. Because if we have our traditional leaders in this parastatal board and also traditional leaders and our parastatal board, then we still say that parastatal they don't fail through corruption. Then we go say we nation don't fail. But then if we only call these people the way we they launch business, but let them pay, the way they fail, we say salute don't fail. Sometimes then we unfair with ourselves in this country. So let we advocate for that collectively, the journalists and they are, we self as citizens, that will collectively push for the inclusion there. Inclusion only means bringing disabled women there in politics. Inclusion means let us bring traditional leaders and religious leaders into governance. You know, let we push for the inclusions and then we see how cohesively we continue to move forward. With that, I want to say thanks to the media team that we come for actually work with we and make sure say by tomorrow and the following weeks we will go over the radio that people they are able to talk about this this group. So nationwide and then within live, so Sierra Leoneans and the diaspora also been follow this particular conversation or should say at least when they talk good about our community in this country. So now we get lunch and we go get transportation logistics after the lunch. So maybe as the lunch they go on, as you know they arrange that. So possibly done if you get time then you can go. But now we want to tell them thank you. And the resolution where Reverend Jesse Fonda asked for, we don't grant to you. We will now go look into that But see, we get 2 representatives from Interreligious Council, 2 representatives from eminent women, 2 representatives from the tribal heads, and paramount chiefs, council of paramount chiefs. But let me see how we will start for send this dialogue. So waiting first we go to the people who want for meet with. We give them first a phone call. This set of group want for meet with. How would I say? So the moment they go ahead, then we keep them when I say this group will support that very movement they identity. We don't go externally for go ask for support. That particular one for me to the APC, SLPP, and the government, this group will support that one. But we will get back to the all with how far we will go with that from today to next week. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So what you see about thank you. The issue will be raised. What has been happening over the years, when government is established, they will write to the Interreligious Council and say, nominate this person to serve in this board or committee. It has already been happening. Sheikh Conte was chairman of the Anti-Corruption Commission for a number of years. When he left, Bishop T. Kuruma was chairman of that board. We get representative in an independent police company board. We get representative in the Children's Commission. We get representative in the SLPC board. Where is all the boards there? NACSA. What did change in this rating? We do not know. We get religious level represented, but they did not ask us. They choose who they wanted. They presented in the court. We're not going to go into that, yeah? We're not going into that. Please, I'll go on to the misunderstood. Okay? As we close, Reverend Mary, we're still here for your ringing voice. October, don't tell me thank you, we'll get at the meeting. You said tell me thank you to the one they will organize the meeting.
Praise the Lord. Not to church video, but I like to praise God. Isaiah 1:18. He said, come now. Let us listen together, said the Lord. And now let me pray. We find that in our heaven we make all things possible for you. We want to tell you plenty thank you. Papa God, we tell you thank you for this fine country we live in. And God, we tell you thank you for the election we don't pass. We also tell you plenty thank you for the problems that we go through. They're not hidden, we they see them. Especially during this rainy season. Things can go, it's not easy. And the problems and they show out. Hey Papa, we were there now no plenty. The one the way they out there them plenty pass. But we they pray for your peace. Papa, give sierraleoneans and cold hearts. You talk to them in the name of Jesus. God, this WhatsApp, Twitter, all that what calls us. When messages they flow, so man, if you know you read that message for the day, it access for the people like you. Father, we pray that you give interreligious council, we chief them the sense how for the debunk then wrong information here. Papa God, we pray that the one the way you don't put together for bring the leaders them together for let peace go there, give them wisdom, give them righteousness that they not go be biased, give them love, give them wisdom, and above all faith when they not go fear, so that when they stand out, the right thing will happen. Papa God, I tell you thank you. And they tell all man thank you now Yahweh come. When you make and they tell you now thank you, you go and do the right thing. Chief, thank you. The other chief them una thank you. Come on, tell the people and thank you. Will they tell all man I thank you. Ebu James, thank you. Check, thank you. The great man, thank you. Even as I pray, but thank God now you get all the thank you. In Jesus' name.
All right, we'll get me daddy. I would like you to pray. One of our Father, we have for doing the Islamic blessing.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, Allah, we plead to you to touch the heart of each and every sierraleonean to realize that war is not good, and whoever tries to influence you because of his own selfish aim is not doing any good. Let us take lesson from those countries which have been very peaceful, very progressive, and they were convinced by other people that their leaders are not doing good. They ousted him, and now they are in chaos. Typical example like Libya and the others. Allah, we plead to you to let our politicians realize that it is God that gives power to each and every one. Because in the God, you don't see, Malik al-Mulk, Tuti Mulka, Man Tasha, Watanzi Mulka, Man Tasha. Now, in the possession of power, it is give to person what you want. It take out from the person what you want to take out. So, let us get that understanding. Whatever your grief is, put Sierra Leone first. Put your children. All of us here now, most of us have passed the middle of our lives. Let us think of the children that we have been paying school fees for. How are they going to live after us? If we leave this country in chaos, they will be the one that will suffer. May God that avoid that from this country. بحق أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Alright, now remember 7 8 they can serve with the lunch, then after that they will do the administrative arrangement.